and thank you for tuning into your Come Up. Thank you for watching. If this is your first time here, you know what to do.
Yes.
Don't be stingy. Hit that subscribe button and that like and the bell notification. On your show, The Come, we talk about anything and everything to deal with you helping come up, whether it be business, finance, personal, spiritual, or physical. Today, we're going to have a conversation here with Ralph, a author, writer, film director, producer. Did I miss anything?
No, it's all good. It's all good. And sometimes I also have a day job in the corporate world. So on top of all of that.
All right. There you go. No problem. Ralph, in 60 seconds or less, just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yes. So hi, everyone. My name is Ralph Bismargi. I grew up in Dubai and I've been living in France for 16 years now. I'm a film director and writer and producer. I've produced many short films and web series. I'm also working on producing a feature film. And recently I also started publishing my own books. I published a short story called Suck a Kiss last summer. And I just recently published a comedy fiction called How to Be an Adult.
Even though we are adults, sometimes
Yes.
easier said than done, right? So, Ralph, you obviously juggle a lot on your plate, and
Yep.
one thing I'm always curious to know is how do people find their passion? Because some people don't know what their passion or what their purpose is. In your case, how did you find yours, or how did it find you?
For me, it all started after I graduated. I was in my first corporate job, and I felt like there was something missing. Like I wasn't completely satisfied with my work-life balance. So I started exploring some extra activities and hobbies outside of work. That's how the whole adventure started. So I took some improv and acting classes, which then led to writing classes, which then led to making movies and writing short films and plays and sketches. Everything snowballed afterwards. The whole process, I mean, it was many years in the making. Like it didn't happen overnight. My advice to everyone is just to always be curious and adventurous, regardless of how old you are, whether you're in your 20s or you're in your 30s or 40s or even 50s, 60s, 70s, it doesn't matter. It's never too late. Always keep a young heart, be curious and adventurous, and try to find the things that speak to your heart.
That's true. That's amazing right there. I mean, you do have to be curious, try new things in order to know where you're going. You have to know where you've been. In order to know what you want to do, you have to know what you don't want to do. Your purpose in life is start with what you love to do, your passion, because that will lead you into your purpose. So you juggle a lot. You're a writer. You wrote a book. I wrote a few books myself, and that is not an easy feat to do. People think it's just write and publish. No, it ain't. And plus, and then two, you're a film producer, a director, a writer. You got a girlfriend? Because I don't know how she has to wait for time for you.
No, at the moment I'm single at the moment, but yeah, I mean, if I had a family, it would be even harder. So, and that's probably gonna happen at some point in the future. But for now, it's one less thing to have to juggle between.
Order some powerful wine in France, right? So, so with all that being said, what you do, how do you find the challenges to balance work and life with what you do?
Yes, so I think first of all, life is not a sprint, it's a marathon. So you always have to keep a long-term goal. So sometimes a lot of things are going to fall on your plate at the same time. It's important to be able to differentiate between what's urgent and what's not. So for example, you can make a list and you can be dealing with your day job, your health, your family obligations, and then you have a movie and a book to work on and all of these things. It's important to be able to find the difference between what can wait and what has to be done now. And I think if you don't get frustrated, like if you accept the fact that you can't do everything in one day, then you'll be all right. Like if you can differentiate between what can be done tomorrow or next week or next month or next year, then it'll be easier to juggle between many things.
For me, I'm a single father, 2 kids. My ex has the kids half the time and I have the kids the other half. But I'm always curious, regardless if you're single and working or married, working and starting a business. I'm just always taking tidbits here and there on how people balance the work life dilemma, because it's never a one
Yeah,
size
it's not
fit
easy.
all,
Yeah.
it's just, for me, it's God first, family second, then your responsibilities, and everything else will kind of fall into balance. Easier said than done. So I'm always interested and intrigued on tidbits that others can offer. Last and final question, Ralph. Any last or final words you want to relay to anyone watching?
So I would say to anyone who wants to become either a film director or an actor is don't have your entire life revolve around acting and film directing. Have kind of a normal life to be able to have stories to tell. Like if you have like a normal job and a relationship and something more to your life than just your passion, then it'll give you a lot more stories to tell and a lot more material to pull back from for your projects and for your artistry. I also think it's important to balance between your work, your passion, and your life. It's never good to do too much of one thing. It's never good to too much work or too many hobbies, too much working out at the gym. So it's always important to keep some balance and do a large variety of things so that you can have interesting things to talk about.
I forgot what the story was that I read, where a college professor took a jar, put marbles in it, and asked the students, "Is there any room left in the jar?" And the students were like, "No." And he put like sand and pebbles in, and the students were, and he asked, "Is there any more room left in the jar?" "No." And I guess he put like beer in it, and the jar did not overflow. So the professor was like, the jar is like your life. The marbles are what's important to you, or the golf balls or whatever, what's important to you, like family, friends, work, or whatnot. The sand is, I guess family, friends, or whatnot. I don't know the full story, but the beer part, people are like, well, what's
I
the point of the
remember it
beer?
though. I
Yeah,
can remember it. Yeah.
yeah, what's the point of a beer? You always got time for a beer with a friend or two. That's the point
Yeah.
of the beer. So,
Nobody's ever too busy. I think nobody's ever too busy. You can always find time for a bit of time. I mean, it doesn't have to be a lot, a bit of time for everything. A lot of like film directors get better with age. It's because they have not only do their skills improve, but it's also that they have more stories to tell and more life experience to fall back on.
Yeah, that's true. I believe that. The more you work on your craft, better you get. You got more experience, and you can pivot that to storytelling.
And yeah, as a writer, you can also use that. I mean, it doesn't only apply to film. It can apply to writing and painting or whatever art form we're talking about, or music.
Oh yeah, no. Like me, my gift is writing. I self-taught myself video editing. I just know the basics. But the more videos I edit, the better. And since my strength is writing and storytelling, I try to use that to create a little comedic feel when I edit the videos or whatnot. When someone says a certain thing and I find a GIF to put that together, I kind of like doing that thing.
You just mentioned that you self-taught yourself how to edit. Me too. Actually, I never went to film school. I've done many short films and web series, but I've never been to film school. I mean, I'm not saying don't go to college. Yeah,
right.
That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying that you can always learn more and you can always teach yourself more things. Especially, I think now with the COVID and the confinement, it gave us a bit more time to spend on ourselves.
Exactly.
I feel. I mean, hopefully it's not going to last forever, but at least for the moment, it's a good opportunity to, teach yourself new skills and learn new things.
And we're only going more digital. So if it weren't for COVID, I probably maybe I would have done a YouTube channel eventually. It just kickstarted sooner because of the pandemic.
It's the same thing for me with the book, actually. Like if it wasn't for COVID, I don't think I would have published the recent book that I just published now. It's a book that's 130 pages long. And if I was like, if there was no confinement, if I didn't have any free time, it would have been hard to finish it. So in a way, it was a blessing in disguise, in a way.
Definitely. Well, I will be sure to link your book in the description. And
thank you.
You guys, thank you for tuning into your come up. Until then, see you next time.